Sky Toss and Legacy of the Void because I think it's really boring, and because of that, I lose a lot. So, due to my decision to have fun, I lose a lot of games. I have found the glory in the Disruptor. I used to not believe in it, furthering the pun, but now I believe.
Pardon the punny person. Pardon the
I
punny.
wish I could have made like I was trying
Torkk!
to think of a way. Yeah.
Torkk! You left the game. You just
What?
left the game.
I guess I was the one who's on the potato.
Hawkeye, do I solo cast it? Here we
I
go.
guess so.
Okay, guys. Sadly, Torkk will not be able to join us because Hawkeye gave the word. No, don't remake. Believe. Don't you dare leave. Don't you dare leave. All right, guys. Here we are on Terraform for game 3 of a best of. Sorry, game 1 of a best of 3. Don't even ask me. There we go. There's 3, 2, 1, go. All right. Here, in the bottom right-hand corner, the red Zerg player who wants to make it to the round of 8 after losing to Picasso. It is ByRada from Venezuela. And his opponent, in the top left-hand corner, from Exile 5 and the Murica, actually knows, I believe, Canadian? I think he's Canadian. Actually, take it back. From Canada, from the Kanadas, it is the green Protoss, believe. I could never do such a pitiful thing as mistake a Canadian for an American. It wouldn't happen in person, I know that. Believe switching it up a little bit, normally going for his low ground pylon, will go for one on the high ground. Just game 1 of a best of 3, and ByRada actually hasn't been known to be too aggressive. Still waiting to see what he'll do. He's generally been the more economical player. He has gone pool first in some situation, but that actually has been more to counter the ZVZ annoyingness of Vaisravana. I do like what we've seen out of Believe before, though. Doing the pawn on the high ground, you know, it makes the scout of ByRada even a little bit more wonky because he scouts up there. You see the pawn on the high ground. It could be a one base play, probably not a one base play, but still, it's just a little bit more defensive. He can throw the gate on the high ground and have a very nice wall if he throws the gate in the cyber. But for now, Drone ByRada will be able to deny this natural base. Back at home, ByRada is just about to take his natural, and that should be what goes down. Drone is totally ready. There it goes down, and actually still the drone of ByRada. He believes in himself quite fully, and natural goes down. Both players about even, and now I'm really curious whether it's going to be gas pool for ByRada, or if he's just going to go pool from here and into some more aggression, because I think really he could take some nice map control. He's been pretty good in the macro game. Not phenomenal, but still with Lings, he can do a lot, and we've seen a lot of crazy Lings getting into all sorts of places in the force fields, not quite being good enough. Believe may have it, though. Well started at the natural frame, but the third base by ByRada at the gold. I love this. I love this completely, and I mean, hopefully, by the time Believe scouts it, it's already gonna have paid for itself. It only takes a few minutes of 16 workers, or actually less than 16 workers. It only takes a few minutes of, I'm just gonna go with 12 for now, at that gold base to actually be able to pay off itself. So why not? And eventually what you'll see is the Zerg players take their normal third base, and then when Believe goes for his 2-base push, he'll slaughter the gold, but Zerg falls back and has not only paid off that gold base, but has 3-base production off the back of that and 3-base economy. It's just going to be key here for now for Believe to understand, okay, there's some Lings missing, there's something missing. Actually, technically not Lings missing. The spawning pool just delayed, so he will check for that early third, and something's not quite right, and he actually make a look for the gold. I love this move from him. He will be able to spot it. Back at home, Believe only now getting the 7 Nexus core because he did go Gate Nexus, so he will not be able to, at least for now, punish that gold or that third quick that easily. Still, though, it's possible, and there is the drones moving off to go to the gold base, I presume, and as I said, it's going to pay off pretty quickly. For now, though, that has left ByRada down and only mining with, what, like 7 workers in total, sadly. 8 in total, but taking the gold base and Believe will be going Robo. So I'm kind of curious if we're going to see out of ByRada going up. I presume we're going to see a Roach Hydra play, but I'm really kind of curious what he's actually going to do, whether it's going to be the Roaches, because still no gas, 5 minutes, 20 seconds into the game, and Believe he will have the Robo opening up with that, not doing Stargate that we've seen in a couple previous plays, but again, Lings could be really good. Like I mentioned a lot earlier on, ByRada has been playing more safe pool first, getting his metabolic boost and really taking nice map control. So I feel like he could do that. This is his first scout of his opponent, though, after denying the natural base. And Actually, does ByRada see no... Yeah, he sees no gate, so relatively he could push into that if he wants to. Not too many lings out of the map, and Metabolic Boost is still about 60 seconds away. But ByRada looking like he's going to be in a fine position, and the gold base is going to pay for itself quite quickly. In total, that actually puts them at about even though ByRada's down by 3 workers, just ahead by about 100 minerals a minute. Not too much, but that will start to pay off heading on into the mid-game and the 7-8 minute mark here. Believe's got his sentry up, but nothing actually at the natural base, and the Lings will make a dive for it. They are slow Lings, though, so close to having speed, and kill the 1 probe. Don't quite deny the gateway, but there is a possibility for a Photon Overcharge in about 3 seconds here. Lings is just going to go for the kills, and the Photon Overcharge is actually natural. Actually, the Lings should just go up into the main. The sentry is not quite in the right position. It's up all the way on the other side to do anything, but the Lings will be cleaned up after achieving about 3 kills right there. I think there's a total of 6 Lings. Lings could have got up into the main if they wanted to, but that will not be the case. And after actually, I think he spotted the Robo. Yeah, he did spot the Robo and the gates being added on by Believe. So for now, ByRada, for his third base, Spine is going up and he should be able to defend. Photon Overcharge was used though in any counterattack, at least soon, with you have 8 roaches on, sorry, 4 roaches, about 8 Lings on the way, will not have the easiest defense. Or it won't be the easiest defense for Believe here, but ByRada putting down the pressure, 3 base off the gold, going really well, and Believe knows this. Lings try to make a dash for it, but is that fully walled off? No, it's not fully walled off, actually. Not even a sentry right there. There is 2 Immortals, but man, those Immortals in a precarious position. They do pull out, and the sentries are actually in the main working on an Overlord. Sadly, no force fields, no nothing for them, and the Lings just again and again throwing off Believe by just a little bit. So far, they've only acquired 4 kills, but still, they're really trying their hardest here. Believe looking like he's going to move out really soon. He's got 2 Warp Prism. Sorry, he's got 2 Mortals. I'd love to see him, yeah, make a Warp Prism like he is, but man, ByRada, he's got Lings on the way. Up in his main, he's getting up to layer, which should be done in about 30 seconds, and he's got a Baneling Nest. A little bit spread out here, but he's covering all his bases, making sure he can take on this 2-base play that's coming out of Believe, and 2-base play that Torkk always wanted is only going to happen once he's gone. And actually, these Lings and Roaches may be able to kill this pylon right here. Don't quite go for it. That could supply block Believe, making him so he can't reinforce. But the Lings actually get a full surround. Immortals are really good, but all the force fields are gone from these sentries. Roaches are going to try to focus down some of the stuff, but the Immortals actually can't do any damage here because of the position. Lings may not be able to kill them, but there's 1 goes down, 2 goes down, a 3rd on the way. Or 3rd will be taken down right there, and ByRada. It's a nice engagement for a couple of Roaches, a couple Lings, 22 more Lings off the back of this, 2 Roaches, and like I was saying, that 3rd base of ByRada is really starting to pay its weight in gold, literally. ByRada up by about 400 minerals a minute, and now, sadly, Believe is actually walled himself in. Doesn't take that of the pylon out, but this is all the possibility in all the preparation for ByRada to be able to make a surround. There's no force field. See if he can make it. Roach speed all the way, still about 70 seconds away, and the layer is done. ByRada, by the way, he still has the Baneling Nest. If ByRada potentially would want to do like a big Baneling push into like a pylon, whatever, just to make sure he kills it. For now, though, still, that wall is very precarious. 2 pylons at each end, which could be easily killed, and Photon Overcharge is down, but again, like I was saying, after that very early Photon Overcharge, the Mothership just does not have enough energy saved up to keep on continually Photon Overcharging and be able to hold this that easily. So many Lings are currently out on the map for ByRada. There's a total of 30 Lings, and man, the Roaches is powering through this. There is the Warp Prism, but Believe is just not quite gutsy enough to make something happen at the 3rd base, which is the gold base of ByRada, to at least pull this army back and all the units of ByRada into the natural, and a decent amount of Banelings. There's the Banelings, 10 Banelings coming in, and they focus down the Nexus. Please don't focus down the Nexus. Immortal at the top of the ramp will be able to fight for a while, but the Banelings go for the probes. They're actually going to force the probes right into the Roaches, but the Roaches don't quite care that much. But oh man, the Zealots impacting straight into the Banelings, and ByRada, 10 more Roaches out on the way. Not quite as many Lings. Look in the top left-hand corner. He does have 1,500 minerals at the 11-minute mark saved up. Doesn't quite have the production to utilize it. Only 3 larvae, but the natural base of Believe is sniped. And 10 workers killed. 15 workers in total, leaving it 49 drones to 40 probes, and ByRada, he needs to defend this 3rd base. He's got Spines going up, he's got Roaches out, and there's 2 Immortals, Zealots, and Sentries for Believe. ByRada's got to be really careful, and he's actually going to go for the counterattack. Both armies passing each other blindly in the night, and debating whether I want ByRada to pull back, but I mean, he's already got Lings and Roaches. This is a natural base, but at the same time, at the 3rd base of ByRada, here are the Zealots, here's everything. The drone's pulling back. There's the 3rd base of ByRada, not quite done yet, but like I was saying, technically it's the 4th base, but after the gold base is done, it's already paid off for itself. Fall back from it, let it die, you fall back onto your own 3rd base, and you have had a nice economic lead from the mid-game. Sadly, the Queen goes down with the left-hand side of the map. ByRada decimating this natural base. Natural base again is canceled. There's only 1 pylon. I repeat, 1 pylon powering the Robo, the Gateway, and the Cybernetics Core right there, so easily that could be sniped, really deterring any production from Believe. This into the front and Overcharge, finally doing it, but this attack has forced the entire army of Believe to pull back, snipe the third gold base, but that's nowhere enough for Believe to get back in this game. ByRada just sniping what he can. Third base of ByRada is just about done back at home, and Mortals will be able to clean it up. Maybe they can force field and kill the rest of these roaches, but just so much economic damage has been done. 31 probes, 48 drones, and only one base income for Believe. I think ByRada is going to be able to take this right here. Finally, the roaches get as many kills as they can, end up picking up 4, 6, 7, and now when the natural base goes down, if that is what Believe does, I mean, I think he's just got to go straight all in, guys. No natural base while 100 overcharge. Mothership Core is not going to be able to utilize that, but actually, natural base is going to go down for Believe. Currently, units lost, it's actually 6,800 to 6,900. Not too much different, but just economically, it's 23 workers to 47, and ByRada's got his third base. Desperately, a Warp Prism tries to posture and get a good angle. Won't quite happen. ByRada throwing down a Macro Hatch to be able to compensate for all his extra minerals. Got 1,000 in the bank, and the Hydralisk Den. I'd say a crazy one-base play. I guess maybe Believe thinks he's going to take his third. No, not going to take a quick third base. Here is the Zealot Warp, and they will try to clean up some creep here, just enough to try to do that. But Ling's such a quick surround. Actually, the medevac, or sorry, not the medevac, Warp Prism, we have to be very careful. Enough Queens, 4 Queens this army, and Hydras are going to soon be streaming in a couple seconds. The only thing I'm worried about is DTs from Believe. Obviously, we do see the DT Shrine on the way, and +1. He will be making one final 2-base push off the back of this. He did snipe the gold, but like I was saying, it's so easy to fall back from the gold onto your third base. And finally, the Hydralisk Den is done by ByRada. He's not gas starved, not mineral starved. He's got a nice little bank in the top right. He's making his final push. 12 Hydras are on the way. Currently, Army supplies 102 of Reserve Buddy to the 44 of Believe. Let's see if Believe's hard enough and can do this. Nice force fields, actually really good force fields, but they're not going to be enough. There's the rest of the force fields. Will force field a decent amount of the army out and catches 5 or 6 roaches here. Just enough for Believe to hold, but at the same time, actually, there's a Zealot counterattack in the third base. Hydras are there, and actually, I guess the Zealots may do their best going for drones or trying to snipe a Hydra here or there. Warp Prism gets out, but this does pull the entire army back. And by the way, a huge swell of drones. Finally, with that extra Macro Hatch in the natural, does allow 18 workers to be produced at once. Actually, even more than that. Like, he's producing like 20 workers at a time right here. He will produce about 20 workers, does take his third base, fully saturated, and DTs are being warped in. I'm really, really worried. I don't think it's going to take him. It will take him by surprise. I don't think it's going to do that much damage, but, you know, we'll see. Sometimes when you're attacking somewhere, oh, the preemptive force field's forced out right there. Sometimes when you're attacking somewhere else, you don't hear the DT swipes back at home, and they're moving in. Still, though, ByRada's got a chokehold on his opponent. That is Believe, and it's getting dicey here for Believe. DTs will be moving in, and do we see any Overseers morphing in? No Overseers yet. These DTs go, there's the first Overseers. DTs going relatively undeterred, and ByRada just making sure it doesn't take that much damage, will be pulling back, and Zealots, DTs moving into the third base, while DTs moving into the main and the natural, trying to get damage done, but the Overseers are just there in time. DTs take the long way around from the third base into the main, and sadly don't quite capitalize and get the most kills, but still 9 kills so far. You guys see the bottom left-hand corner, 22 Lings forced out because of this, just trying to be safe, and I think that should have been drones right here. 52 to 40, and actually, Believe has evened himself up really nicely, but ByRada just has such an amazing army supply lead. Oh, he's going to be able to get his Warp Prism. That'd be really nice right here. But ByRada does have Hydra speed right here, not quite Hydra range. Sorry, he does have Hydra range, not quite Hydra speed. That is what he's upgrading right now. For now, though, no upgrades, at least +1 of the +1 variety for ByRada, while Believe is +1 here. He's got to make one final 2-base play, but he's only at 94 supply at the 18-minute mark. That is Believe, and that Warp Prism you can see in the top right of your screens, guys, is all Believe has. ByRada is going to make his one final push. Actually, not really one final push, but is the one push that will end the game here, which technically is his one final push. 123 army supply to 54. ByRada's being careful, accumulating his army, and man, Believe's got it, but this is game 1 of a best of 3. Might as well just take the loss and try to make something else happen. But now the third base of actually ByRada is completely under fire, but it doesn't matter because the entire army of ByRada is moving to natural base. There's no force field, there's no nothing. No force fields to actually keep the army out. There's the Guardian Shield. There's the Thunder. Nova Charger. Colossus is desperately trying to get out. No Chronos, though, on that. And the entire army, so many Hydras of ByRada currently out on the map. There are 25 Hydras, and they just DPS down everything. The natural base is at jeopardy. The Colossus is desperately trying to kill whatever he can. Not even moving up into the, not even kiting up into the main. The third base, yes, of ByRada actually does go down with Zeltzer and ByRada's natural base. But man, it looks like ByRada is going to be able to take this natural out. Again, the Robo will fall. No Robo left for Bleed, but with this base trade situation back at home, if you look at the natural base of ByRada here, Zelts and DTs are actually doing a phenomenal amount of damage. They've taken out the third base. They're working on stuff in the natural, but now barely will they be cleaned up. There's no Overseer. Actually, all the probes, though, right there, 27 go down. We're pulled to fight this, and so much DPS coming out of the Hydras. They do a total of 12 damage with these probes, just decimating them, and the Colossus goes down. I think that's it, guys. 38 probes go down. It's currently 40 drones to 6 probes. GG. Maybe soon, maybe not. There's the GG. ByRada takes game 1, going 1-0, looking to have redemption and move on to the round of 8. Torkk, you there? I can't hear you if you're speaking. Oh, you got a solo cast?
There we go. I couldn't find the
Oh.
unmute microphone button because I'm just dumb.
You still have to restart your computer?
Yeah.
Uh,
So, yeah.
Guys, this is Torkk. If you enjoyed his analytical prowess a little bit earlier, please check him out at Torkk.